This is a video about the time that we flew the drone, but we lost signal in the middle of the flight. Now, I'm not exactly the most The first time I just ran into a tree. That was pretty negligible. The second time I didn't run into anything. There were just I just lost signal. I was in the middle of Are you laughing? I was in the middle of a couple of mountains and then I just lost signal and then we couldn't it'll be a story for another video, but I lost signal and I lost the drone.
Sir, baka pwede siya dito, no?
Correct. Pero naririnig niya na
Gamaga.
Parang bzzz.
Nandiyan kami.
On this one, it scared the shit out of me again. And then there's no buildings, no mountains or anything. Maybe the only thing that I could think of that would affect the signal were the power lines on the road. In this case though, unlike that time that I lost it in the mountains, I could still see it. I mean, or it's just like across the street. It's just within like 300, 400, 500 feet away from me. So,
Where's the drone?
I try not to panic.
I don't know. Disconnected. Walang signal.
Oh no.
And then
I was just using the sticks to guess the distance of the drone to the controller.
it was just hovering.
I was using that to come closer.
It just stayed in place.
It's similar to what happened to me in the mountains. It just got disconnected.
So I got it back. The battery didn't pop out. It was able to fly back. I was able to land it properly. And I can see the headlines already on social media. It would have been so embarrassing. This was also a good time for me to look at the battery because it didn't occur to me that it was bloated yet. I just thought it was loose. So that's what I was worried about when I couldn't see the drone right away. I knew I'd be able to find it. It was just across the street. It was just nearby. But when I couldn't find it, I was worried that the battery would have just popped out, and that would have been the worst thing that could happen. The drone falling onto a car and then me having to pay for the windshield or whatever damages the car might incur. Okay. I was so tense just looking for the drone. Number one, because it already happened before. I mean, seriously, dude, I'm making fun of it right now, but it was really, I felt like my heart was about to pop out of my chest. So, lesson learned, keep it within visual range. That means make sure that you see it all the time. And I'm gonna be doing more research on trying to improve the signal of it's so freaking expensive and it's so freaking embarrassing to lose something expensive like that. And then when I was at home trying to get the flight records, transferring files, that's when it died. And so that's where I wrote DJI. Number one, I lost signal, and number two, that I think I have bloated batteries. Alright, so we don't have any electricity in the house right now. It's a long story, but we have some lamps. Something arrived today. They didn't have an answer for the lost signal, but they were nice enough to replace the batteries this time. Thank you. So at least all the nice professional and business type emails that I've sent to DJI have been good. Pag may aanihin, let's see, it's in Chinese. Customs documents and papers. The batteries that were made like in 2018, which is when I bought the drone a couple of years ago, that batch was a problematic batch. Maybe that's why the Mavic flew out of the sky before. Maybe it was a bloated battery. It was a really hot day. No questions asked. They asked me for my address. I gave them my address. We had a little back and forth about the customs issues with the Philippines. The batteries arrived tonight when we don't have any light here in the house.